Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bendy. And here on this channel, we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. Now, today we are going to be talking about why we so often say that we have these big dreams, these big manifestations that we're pulling into our reality, but why we so often do the opposite of what we say. Before we go forward, just very, very genuinely from my heart, I would just like to say, let's pray for the Ukraine. Let's put all of our mental, spiritual energy into sending out feelings of love and feelings of peace, because we don't need a war. We don't need a war. We don't need a war. We are just getting back outside. We do not need a war. And people are in pain. And if you're not from the Ukraine, if that's not a part of your culture, it's sure not a part of mine. I think that it's a wonderful time to realize that we all come from different cultures, and just because we're not a part of that culture does not mean that we cannot empathize with our full selves. Not just like, oh, that's sad. No, like, let's practice fully empathizing and imagining if that were us and praying with that energy. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna even plug my stuff. You know what I sell. Let's just get into the video. So today we're talking about why we say we want to be rich, but we often make poor decisions. So first things first, when do we make these poor decisions? Just see what comes up for you. You know what you want out of life, but you seem to keep ending up in situations that are the opposite of what you are trying to attract. How does this happen? Where does this happen? Where can we follow the breadcrumbs to find the answer? Okay, the answer is when you are on autopilot. You make the decisions that often lead to self-sabotaging or you finding yourself in a different place than you intended when you are on autopilot, when you are saying, thinking, and doing things that are not intentional, but from your programming. And we get off autopilot by being present and staying in the present moment. The simplest way I can explain being present is, well, there is a myriad of ways. I think that a good way to check to see if you're being present is to just check in with your five senses. You know, what do I see right in front of me? What colors do I notice? How do my fingers feel? What do I smell? What do I taste in my mouth? Things like that. I think practicing that can start to give you the bodily feeling of being in the present moment, and then you can start incorporating your consciousness into it and starting to intentionally be present, as opposed to running on autopilot, running off of the programs that you created up until this point of your life. So on autopilot, we make decisions to keep us in wherever our ego thinks we're most safe. Our ego has learned that we are safe from past instances. And that can be from little situations such as being embarrassed. That can be from huge situations such as losing a loved one, losing a friend. That can be from everyday situations such as conflict, getting into an argument with someone. It doesn't matter. Any situation that triggered fight or flight within you is recorded in your mind, and your ego says those things are unsafe. So your ego is working overtime to keep you out of those situations, but it's not always intentional. So we create these programs to keep us out of these situations from the past. And a lot of times these programs, they don't have any investment in what we want. They have nothing to do with our goals and our dreams. They're just trying to keep the fearful part of us safe, right? So that is why we have to say, I'm strong enough to deal with whatever my ego is afraid of, so that we can start to truly believe that. And so that we can start to rewire our brain to be fearless and okay with being in the unknown situations. So the example I want to use for today is, let's say the person in our example wants a new job. They are currently working at a job they do not like. They have two ideas. The first idea is look online for a job. So this person, they take all their qualifications, all of their school learning, all of their skills, their resume, They get online and they look for a job, and they realize that they have this icky feeling, like they're just getting uncomfortable. They look at one job, they start to feel uncomfortable. Another job, they start to feel more uncomfortable. Before they can even figure out what's going on, they realize that as they're reading the jobs, they're starting to become overwhelmed. So they say, okay, I'm not gonna look for a job online right now. This isn't it. None of these jobs are really for me. Nothing's calling me, right? And then the second idea that the person has is, well, why don't I ask a friend? Why don't I ask a few friends? Why don't I start to network so that I can find a job that really fits me? Because my friends know me. So let me find a job that through my friends, because that job will probably most likely fit me. And the person starts to think, who do I want to reach out to? Who do I want to talk to? Do I want to ask everybody? Do I only want to ask a couple people? And then maybe they think, oh, but this means everyone's going to be in my business. Everyone's going to know I don't have a job. Everyone's going to know I'm looking for a job. And that's just messy. That's messy. So I don't want to tell anybody that I'm looking for a job. I'm just going to leave my friends out of this. Okay. So the two ideas that this person had, okay, back it up. The person says, I want to find a better job. This job does not serve me, right? They reached out into the universe. They said, this is my qualm, right? And they had two instances of divine thought. One, I'll look online. I will use the internet as a resource. And then they realized that nothing online was good enough. And they said, okay, I will ask my friends. My wonderful friends will help me find a job. And then they say, oh no, I don't want people in my business. I'm not going to ask my friends. So we end up in the same place with the same job, no expansion. So the big point that I want to make in this video is that if you are experiencing scarcity, y'all gonna tear me up for this one, but if you are experiencing scarcity, it's because a small part of your autopilot mind likes scarcity because you find safety in it, because you find safety in it. I don't even have to make it any more deep, because you can predict what's going to happen within those circumstances. So you like those circumstances because they are simply comfortable. And who doesn't like comfort? Who doesn't like a comfy couch? Who doesn't like a comfy bed? Who doesn't like comfort, right? So maybe, if we can admit to ourselves that we like scarcity, that we welcome scarcity, from that vantage point, we can say, I do not want to be the type of person that likes scarcity. So what I'm asking you to do for a moment is think about the blueprint that we are creating for our ideal selves, getting into identity shifting, becoming a new, different person, depending on how big of a shift you're trying to make, becoming a different person, living in a different reality, right? Shifting from that person you are today to that person in that ideal reality, that identity shift. Let's say that who you are today is a person that secretly kind of likes scarcity. And that sucks, but you see it, you look at your past actions, you look at your past behaviors, and you're just like, dag, I was on team scarcity and I didn't even realize it. So maybe we admit to ourselves that that's where we were in the past. But what if we went from there and then we said, well, I want to be a person who is not friends with scarcity. I want to be a person who does not like scarcity. I want to be a person who is willing to constantly expand, constantly accept abundance, constantly make space for abundance. So what type of person would that make you into? What types of choices would you make? So continuing, so let's look at those examples. So the person says, I'm going to go into the job boards, right? And subconsciously, they do not accept any type of abundance, any type of expansion, any type of growth, because that's scary, right? So we want to stay in the same place. So the person starts to look at the job boards. They start to see, this is what I see a lot in my personal life, friends, clients, this is what I see a lot. This person starts to look at the job boards, and simply by seeing the list of qualifications, what they need to have in order to be eligible for the job, starts to make them second guess their value, their worth, what they're able to contribute. So going to all these different jobs, looking at all these different jobs, seeing all these different requirements can make the person in our example start to second guess their value, starts to make them feel less than. So we have an opportunity, right? Let's say that we are the person in our example and we are looking at all these different jobs and we say, oh, okay, I'm uncomfortable. Like, I'm starting to breathe quick. I can't catch my breath. I don't feel grounded. Why am I here? This person can say, okay, these jobs are really making me feel like I'm not qualified. I feel like if I leave the job I'm at, I'm going to end up at a job that pays me less or where I'm doing less. And looking at all these jobs just makes me realize how I am not capable of having a better job. Let's say that that's where we are. From there, we have two choices. We have abundance or we have scarcity, right? So scarcity would be, I am not qualified for any job. There's nothing I can do. Nothing, nowhere, barren. I am not qualified for this job. There's nothing I can do to become qualified. There are no jobs out there for me. There's not a single job out there that will appreciate me for who I am, that will pay me for what I want to do. I'm going to stay here. Scarcity, broken, comfortable. So that's one option. Or the other option, abundance, can be, okay, I do not feel qualified for any of these jobs. I'm starting to feel really not valuable. How can we expand? We can take a moment to breathe. Look at just one job. Look at just one job, not self-sabotaging, overwhelming ourselves, looking at 50 jobs and being like, I can't make a decision. No, let's look at one job that stands out. Look at the qualifications. Maybe we're qualified in 4 out of 5 things and we feel that frustrate us, right? That 5th thing, right? We can either close the tab and say, I'm not qualified for this, or we could do a Google search on that 5th thing that we are not qualified for. And the reason I'm smiling is because I know who I used to be and I know who I am now. I used to be the person who would close the tab, but now I'm the person who would look and see, what am I not qualified for? Google it, just so I can know, just so I can have a little more information, because that is expansion. And if I want a little more information, okay, well, how long does it take to get qualified in this? If I want a little more information, okay, so what are the basics? What are the fundamentals of this? You feel that expansion? How now you are expanding as a person just by simply researching this 5th requirement that you thought you weren't able to do? And what happens a lot of the times is we realize these requirements are fancy wordings for things that we already know how to do, right? Job hunting, oh, the worst. But that's that example. So let's say we talk about asking friends whether they can help us find a job. And we say, no, we don't want people in our business, right? That is the stagnant answer. That is the scarcity answer. I don't want people in my business. I'm just going to handle this problem on my own. Thug life. So instead of saying we're just going to let our friends be ignorant to our struggles and let our friends just live their lives as we go on not finding the perfect job for ourselves, instead of doing that, what if we wanted to find abundance? What would be the opposite of this situation? Not necessarily going to a friend and saying, I need a job, give me a job, because that could be what our brain's saying, right? Like, I don't want to make my friend feel like I'm using them to get a job. Like all these things that come up that tell us that we should just not do anything, that we should just stay still, right? What I want to tell you is that there are always baby steps towards the direction you want to go. If one step feels too big, make a smaller step. Yeah. So instead of saying, I need a job, shaking my friends down, instead of that, you can just start a conversation. No hidden agenda. No hidden agenda. Let's say that you are qualified in engineering. You have a friend who works at a great engineering firm. Simply talking to them, being like, hey, tell me about a week in your life. Like, I genuinely want to know how a week for you goes and what you like about your job and what you don't, because I'm looking for a job too. And I would just like to hear what you like and what you don't. There's no hidden agenda in that. It's just a conversation. So an expansion, because you learn and you've expanded a relationship with someone. Expansion. So what's the point of this video? The point of this video is that abundance always equals expansion. The choice that is going to help you grow as a person, understand life more, understand others more, understand reality more. Those choices are going to lead to abundance, the ultimate potential in life. is the ability to continue to expand because you never run out of room. You never run out of room. So abundance equals expansion, and scarcity is going to be defined by situations, thoughts, actions that make you contract or that make you feel stagnant. Like you have not gained anything, you have not moved anywhere, you have not grown at all. You're just in the very exact same place. Because as humans, we are not supposed to experience stagnant lives. We're supposed to experience lives of flow. And in order to flow, we must continually experience new things so that we may grow and better understand this life experience. Okay? So I know the title of this video is You Want to Be Rich, but you make poor decisions, but please understand that it's all the same. It is all the same. When it comes to abundance with money, it is the same as abundance in romantic relationships, as it is abundance in people celebrating you for the person that you are, as it is abundance of peace, abundance, abundance, abundance. It's all the same. Where we are at specific areas of our lives depend on our belief systems. But if you want to just talk about money, then take this video and apply it to how you see money. Are you experiencing a life of abundance and expansion in your financial life? Are you experiencing contraction and stagnation because of the thoughts that you do hold? Are you choosing to make decisions that are going to lead to you being the financially free person that you intend to be? Are you learning about money? Are you learning about investing? Are you learning about taxes? Are you, are you learning about how many different types of bank accounts you actually want to have? Where you want to save your money? Where your money safest? Are you learning about these things, right? Or even bringing it back to a business owner. Let's say that you want to be a business owner. Are you learning about the types of people you're going to have to hire to run the back end of your website? Are you learning about different types of opportunities you have in your city to do pop-ups? Are you learning about how to run a brick and mortar if you do decide that you want to have a in-person store? Right? It's going to be different for everyone. But if you have a manifestation that you're pulling into your reality, are you learning about it? Are you growing into it? Or are you finding constant reasons to say, I want to manifest, but I don't want to change anything about myself and my life? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So that's all I have for today. I think I got my point across. I hope that you like this video. Let's do the love affirmation. Okay. Plant your feet. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale for a count of 1, 2, 3. Exhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Exhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Exhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Exhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Touched my mic there. My bad. Okay, so I am going to repeat an affirmation from this book. And if you would like, you can repeat the affirmation with me, or you can simply listen to me repeat it while maintaining a high vibration yourself and focusing on your breath. I forgive myself. Maintaining the energy, maintaining the ease in the body, focusing on the breath. I forgive myself. 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 You should. Because every decision that we make is necessary so that we know better in the future. Everything seemed like a good idea at the time, right? I love you guys. I do. I love you guys. I love this community. I'm so grateful for you. I love growing with you and sharing my life with you. Okay, you just make me feel so good. You do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up so other people on YouTube know that this is a fun, safe space that they should subscribe to and become a part of. If you would like me to expand on anything that I've talked about, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll be happy to do that. Also, if you would like to be notified when I come out with a new video, please make sure to click that notification bell and subscribe. And that way you will become a reality Bendy yourself and join the Bendy bunch. Because it's lit here. I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.